Today we're going to talk about a topic that crocheters deal with on a regular basis, and that is pain from crocheting. Hi, I'm Elise from the blog LePetitSansCrochet.com, and crocheting is such a wonderful hobby where we are able to make beautiful items with our own two hands. However, it's not uncommon for us to have hand pain, wrist pain, elbow pain, shoulder pain, neck and back pain, all from repetitive motions or incorrect techniques. And today we're going to talk about all the different ways that we can help avoid that pain and still enjoy our beloved craft. If you've crocheted for any amount of time, you've likely experienced some sort of pain. And if you haven't, consider yourself very, very lucky. Maybe your hands feel stiff after a long crochet session, or maybe you have lingering pain long after you stop crocheting. I talked about pain in a recent video, but I think this bears repeating. This quote from Interweave magazine says that pain is simply information, not the enemy. It is crucially important for us to listen to the messages that our body is sending us. I ignored these signs for too long, and I ended up with tendinitis in my elbow, tenosynovitis, which is inflammation in the tendons in my forearm, a ganglion cyst in my wrist, and I'm currently dealing with shoulder pain that we will talk about in just a little bit. All of these have been a result of crocheting and not listening to what my body was telling me. I'm on a mission to fix my own mistakes as well as share the lessons that I've learned along the way. Just like an athlete warms up before they go out onto the field, warm-up exercises is something that we as crocheters should at least think about doing. It's a good idea before we start crocheting to just do a few simple exercises to warm up our hands and wrists. We can do simple things like making circles with our wrists. We can do finger flexion and extension and gentle handshakes. This will help increase blood flow, loosen up our muscles, and prepare them for the repetitive movements from crocheting. This is my #1 recommendation for anybody who loves to crochet as much as I do. Take regular breaks. It's so easy to get lost in the world of crocheting and lose track of time, but it's essential to give those muscles a break so they can rest and recover. One thing that you can do if you are prone to long stretches of crocheting without stopping is to set a timer, maybe every 30 minutes or every hour. Get up, stretch a little bit, stretch your hands, stretch your back. Give those muscles a break. This can help prevent stiffness and fatigue. But also consider taking longer breaks. You don't need to crochet every single day. I know you want to, but it really is important for those muscles and those tendons to get a break. I can already tell that some of you are not a big fan of taking breaks from crocheting because you love it as much as I do. I totally get it. It can be really difficult to stop crocheting for a few days because you're so used to having something occupying your hands and your mind. And that's why I've actually been incorporating some new things into my routine so that on the days that I do need to take time off from crochet, I'm actually doing something that I also enjoy. Which leads me to talk about today's sponsor, June's Journey. June's Journey is a hidden object cozy murder mystery game. It's set in a gorgeous 1920s estate where June is on a quest to solve a mystery. What I love about this game is that #1, it is so cozy and relaxing. In each beautifully decorated scene, there are objects that you need to find. To complete each level, you will return to that room where you will find those same objects that you found before plus new ones. This is why it's so great for your memory because you have to remember where those teeny tiny little objects were hidden. Another thing that I really like about June's Journey is the background music. I love the charming and timeless pieces in the game, and it really sets the scene for a 1920s murder mystery. I think this is an excellent thing to do when you need to take a break from crocheting, but you want something whimsical and entertaining to keep your mind and your hands busy. Download June's Journey for free by clicking the link in the description box below. It's available on Android and iOS devices, as well as on on your PC through Facebook. Thank you so much to June's Journey for sponsoring today's video. Another fun thing that I am starting to do while I am not crocheting is learning how to play the piano. I'm taking an adult group online class, and it happens to be that my daughter is the teacher. She has a master's degree in piano pedagogy and has been teaching for over 10 years, so she knows what she's doing. Even though it still uses my hands, I find that it's using completely different muscles, and it's just stimulating my brain, and I'm having so much fun doing it. Maybe you would like to learn how to play an instrument, and that is a great thing to do. We're never too old to learn something new. Another thing to do is to switch up your crafting. This is one of the main reasons why I actually learned how to knit. Although crocheting and knitting have a lot of similarities, they use completely different muscles. For crocheting, I really feel it in my hands, my forearms, and my elbows, but for knitting, I feel it in my shoulder. But there are so many other fun crafts that you could do besides crocheting to give yourself a break. But if you're looking for some ways to use up some of your yarn stash while you're taking that break, check out my video, 12 ridiculously simple ways to use up yarn scraps. Another thing that you can do to help reduce pain is to try different crochet hooks. This was something that really helped me early on when I was dealing with tendonitis in my elbow. Investing in ergonomic crochet hooks can make a world of difference when it comes to hand and wrist pain. These hooks were designed with comfort in mind, featuring padded handles or specially shaped grips that reduce strain on your hands. They can provide better grip, reduce tension, and allow for smoother movements. Try different ergonomic crochet hooks to see which one works best for you. When I was really struggling with tendonitis in my elbow, I purchased a Furls Odyssey crochet hook because at that time there weren't a lot of other ergonomic crochet hooks out there on the market. It has a really wide handle and it's actually a weighted crochet hook. It helped because the larger handle required less grip. It eased the pain up in my elbow area, and at the time it really did seem to help. But there are also a lot of other options than just a Furls Odyssey crochet hook. You can always add a handle onto your already existing crochet hook. There's the Chunky Boy handle, but you can also just DIY it at home. Maybe you have some fabric or some felt and some duct tape that you could add to it. Some people also talk about adding polymer clay. There are so many ways that you could do that at home on your favorite crochet hooks. One of the new ways that I am learning how to prevent pain is with my tension. Tension control is a fundamental skill in crocheting that can significantly impact your comfort level. Experiment with different ways to find the balance between holding your yarn and holding your hook and finding which way helps you to have better tension. Because I primarily design and crochet amigurumi, I make little single crochet stitches over and over and over again. And this really does a number on my hands, wrists, and elbows. I recently did a video about the patterns written by Jan Schenkel, who is the designer behind Animal Friends of Pika-Pow. And one of the things that she talked about in the book was how she experimented with crochet hook size to see if it helped reduce her hand strain. Because when she was making her toys, she had to have a very tight tension so that there would not be any holes, and she started to have hand pain. But she decided rather than continuing to tighten her tension, she would just go down in hook size. She continued to experiment with crochet hook size and yarn weight. And she discovered that she didn't need to tighten her grip if her crochet hook was smaller. And I have been experimenting with that, and boy, has it made a huge difference for me. I've always been a worsted weight and a 3.5mm crochet hook gal, and I've always done that, but I've recently been going down in my crochet hook size, and it is making a huge difference. So if you are experiencing pain, you might want to check out your tension and look at what could you do to help that with your crochet hook sizes. The next thing that I really encourage everyone to do is to stretch your entire body. While crocheting mainly affects our hands and our arms, it really does affect our entire body. Sitting for hours can cause tightness in our necks and our backs and our hamstrings, just to name a few. One of the things that has helped me is to do yoga videos on YouTube. It's completely free. I can do it at home, and I am stretching all of my muscles. Another great thing to do when you are experiencing pain is to wear a splint, a brace, or some type of glove. And from time to time, when I've needed that extra support, it has made a world of difference for me. When I was experiencing pain from tendonitis, I actually found a strap on Amazon that was specifically designed for tennis elbow, which is the same thing as tendonitis in your elbow. And it actually has a little pressure point when you put it on that is to go right here. It's right near your elbow joint, but it's actually on your forearm muscle. And it made it feel so much better. I would wear it while I was crocheting, and I would wear it other times too, because my tendonitis affected me in other areas of my life. So I really recommend doing that, and I'll leave a link for my favorite one in the description box below. But I also used a wrist splint when I was dealing with the cyst that I had in my wrist. It was just a standard splint. I got it on Amazon, but you can find these types of splints anywhere at pharmacies. You could probably even find it in a grocery store. It kept my wrist from moving around, which made the pain so much better. And I also recently bought some crafting compression gloves that are supposed to help with arthritis or any kind of hand pain from crocheting. And those have been great. I haven't used them a lot because I've been feeling a lot better recently, but those are definitely something to check out. You can find those at crafting stores, but I'll leave a link for the pair that I got in the description box below as well. One of the things that I did when I was in the midst of the worst pain I was going through was to switch my grip with my crochet hook. I'm naturally a knife hold, and I decided that I was going to try and see if doing the pencil hold made a difference. And in doing that, I discovered two different things. Holding the crochet hook in a different way actually uses different muscles, so it gave those overworked muscles a break. And number two, it slowed me down because I think part of my problem was that I was crocheting so fast that it was causing so much fatigue in those muscles. And by just changing my grip, I had to think about it more, and it slowed me down, which actually made my muscles feel better. And this is such a simple and easy thing to experiment with, and I ultimately didn't change my grip with the crochet hook. I only used it during the time when the pain was really bad, and now I have gone back to my knife hold and have no issues. Ice is your friend. After a long crochet session or any time I feel pain or strain, I pop on an ice pack. I found this great article about when to use ice and when to use heat, which we'll talk about in just a minute. And this is from Dr. Kenneth Brooks, who's an orthopedic surgeon in Houston, Texas. This is what he said. Applying ice causes your blood vessels to narrow, decreasing blood flow to the area. In turn, this helps reduce the inflammation that causes swelling. Even if you can't actually see the swelling, one of its symptoms is pain. Heat is also beneficial for us crocheters. Dr. Brooks also went on to say, applying heat causes your blood vessels to expand, increasing blood flow. This brings more biological products such as oxygen and nutrients to the injured area, which can help relieve the source of your pain over time. As a result, heat has a number of potential and perceived benefits, such as decreasing joint stiffness, increasing flexibility, reducing pain, and alleviating muscle cramps and spasms. But it can be confusing to know when should you use ice and when should you use heat. So Dr. Brooks had an answer for that too. For muscle or joint pain caused by exercise-induced tissue damage from overuse or arthritis, there's a rule for both ice and heat. And knowing when to use which is as easy as following advice you're already used to. Warm up before activity and cool down afterward, explains Dr. Brooks. Before exercise or activity, use heat to reduce joint stiffness and improve joint flexibility. After activity, use ice to reduce post-exercise discomfort. Posture is another way that we can learn how to prevent pain with crocheting. Maintaining proper posture while crocheting is crucial for preventing pain in your back, your neck, and your shoulders. Sit in a comfortable chair with some back support, sitting up straight but keeping your shoulders relaxed. Avoid hunching over or craning your neck to look at your work. One thing that seems to help some people is to crochet at a table, a desk, or at a surface where their arms can actually lay on the desk and the work stays on the desk, not in their lap. Another thing that you can do, and something that helped me a lot, was looking for additional triggers that could be causing extra pain during your crochet time. When you have a repetitive motion injury from crocheting, other activities could be causing more harm and impeding your healing progress. That's what happened to me, and I found two things were making my tendonitis much worse, and that was carrying very heavy groceries, and also holding the leash when I was walking our dog. I had to adapt those two things by using my left arm more and getting help, especially when I was bringing groceries into the house. And also my physical therapist taught me that I could wrap the leash around my hand rather than gripping it, and that actually helped too. But one of the most important things to do when the pain just doesn't go away after a few weeks is to seek medical advice. I actually went and saw an orthopedic doctor just a couple of days ago because my shoulder has really been bothering me for quite some time and it just wasn't getting better. I've suffered for too long and I'm ready to get some answers. I'm taking my own advice and I'm here at the orthopedic doctor to have them check my right shoulder because I've just been dealing with this for a couple of years now and it's time to see what the heck is going on. After a thorough exam of my shoulder and an x-ray, my doctor recommended a cortisone shot. And while it's not a cure, it can temporarily relieve pain by reducing swelling and inflammation. But my doctor also did notice that I had limited range of motion in my right shoulder as well as some weakness in that arm. And so she has also recommended physical therapy. That's where they'll be able to tailor exercises and stretching to try to build the muscles back and to improve my range of motion and also to hopefully help prevent the pain. And in 6 weeks, I'll report back to her and hopefully things are going to be a lot better. I hope you're not experiencing pain, but if you are, I hope that you will try one or all of these different techniques to see which ones help you to feel better. Make sure to take care of yourself, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay safe out there and happy stitching.